Well, this video is about how you can turn a manky old car seat like this one into a nice fresh looking one like this, all for under $1. Well, sort of. So for this job you will need a ratchet, extension, different size sockets depending on what sort of car it is, Phillips head screwdriver, small flat blade to get the trims and stuff off, side cutters to remove old C-clips. These aren't C-clips, these are netting clips that you get from local hardware. You need C-clip pliers too. If you haven't got those, you can buy these, but you do see them around. A concentrate, washing powder, bottle of Windex, or you can use just general kitchen clean, doesn't matter. And it's supposed to look like courage. It was, if you haven't done a job like this, you need some courage. So that's, I don't know, the theme taken from The Lion and the Wizard of Oz, I guess. So, yeah, shit joke. Bloody hell. Oh, there's sand in it. This car never even went to the beach. First things first, we'll take this off and give it a clean. It's worth noting that this seat does have a little bit of damage from somebody else's puppy, but for the purpose of this demonstration, it doesn't really matter that much. Well, if anything, that mat and all that sand served to protect it. It's a really quite good nick under there, but it's still really, really dirty. So we need to pull the seat apart and separate the squab from the cushion. Just gets better, doesn't it? That's actually a safety concern because the buckle got sand coming out of it as well. This lever here should just flick off. Like that. So I want to separate the squab from the cushion. That's the squab, that's the cushion, and you do it with 4 bolts, 2 on this side and 2 on the other. You're not supposed to hit with your hands either. It's not good for you. Didn't see this coming. There's a rail in there that's trapped under here. I'll just use side cutters to get these C-clips off. And these are just used to hold the upholstery on. Just make sure you take those out. Don't leave them on the driveway or anything because you'll wind up getting punctures. You can just twist them off like that. They're only like that. And there it is there. The listing, these 2 listings were clamped together covering this part. You just take that off. Set the base to a side. We can sort of take these wires out. We sort of turn them and then reinsert them in their envelope and withdraw them like that. This is what you get when you buy Toyota. They don't miss anything. There's a little plastic clip in there to stop that listing wire coming out. It'll hook around there. So I've never seen that on any other brand of car. Just these ones. And we can just withdraw the wire. There we go. And to withdraw the cover, there'll be another listing here along there, and there'll be 2 clips holding these headrest sleeves on. So we've got to sort of unroll the cover onto itself like this, and it'll just come up quite easily at the top. I'll just turn it around to the other side. So we'll have to, you need it to be sort of the same either side. I'll actually push that in, and then I can roll it up. Oops. There we go. Just like that. Keep turning it around to get it where you want it. Pull it right up over itself, and that'll sort of divulge these listings in here. We need to take those clips off now. So the headrest can be removed externally, but there's these sleeves and there's a little tongue either side where my forefinger is there, and there's one on the other side which we need to push in simultaneously to withdraw it. There's a bit of a trick to it. And there they are there, and they're the 2 tabs you have to press in to push it out through the top. So we'll just withdraw those, which I'll flick the cover inside out again. The Toyota stuff's absolutely lovely. Just lift off, which it does, and we can take that and stick it on the floor. The only thing you need to be aware of when you're taking the cushion cover off is to sort of unwrap it carefully, because you're under a fair bit of duress at the front and you can bugger them up pretty easy. Now these ones use a beading. It has to be pushed down to release from a steel channel, and these seats are quite sharp. The edges on the metal are quite sharp, so you're going to sort of push the cushion down to release tension off the side, and then that whole beading will come out. Push the cushion down against the table as you untuck it, and that's the plastic strip there, and that folded edge goes underneath these bits here. And when you take these off, have to be really careful. What you need to do is push down on the cushion like this and flick it up over. Is that visible? Yeah. It's most important you get that bit right, because otherwise you'll get wrinkles. The same when you put it on like that and you fold it over in one hit. Otherwise you end up with sort of zigzaggy wrinkles all around it. And it looks, Jesus, look at this. It looks absolutely terrible. Again, we're faced with another listing, so we'll take this out. Again, the back corner, we're just unrolling, turning it inside out, and that's the gentlest way, because don't forget this vinyl's quite old, it's 15 years old, and it'll tear very, very easily. Look at the little seat sense. Tells a light on the dash. The light's a light on the dash if anyone sits there. Rightio, so we've got two covers. The wires are out of them. Right. Now for the next step. I'm just going to let these soak in here. Got some nice warm soapy water. You can see that water, it's pretty manky. Drain that. It's not windy today, so they shouldn't take too long to dry. Just using a bit of this kitchen cleaner and just using a nail brush, and all that dirt comes straight off. It's just dirt, there's no grease in there as such. And these parts are just plastic, they don't need armour or any of this sort of stuff on. And this dirt just washes away. And that's the thing, you get old parts and you can recycle. And instead of buying new stuff, you can reuse them. Now this is just a demonstration, so I'm just going to hand stitch this. The best way to do this is to take it to a motor trimmer. Now, any material they put on is going to look different, so the best thing to do is to go to a wrecker and get a back seat. Back seat's much cheaper and easier to find than front seats, and cut out the bit of material you need for that panel. And normally what they do is they unpick all along these stitch lines, and then they use that as a template to make a new one and stitch it in. Of course you can't see the difference. So I'm just going to hand stitch this, and we'll see how that turns out. First thing I've got to do is turn inside out again.
Just no, it's like from years ago.
Oh. Whose is it, Rosie's? Or?
No, it's mine.
How did you go with? Oh yeah, that'll do. It's only hand stitched, but it doesn't matter, it's just a demonstration. Right, well, it's a bit of an unconventional way I've done it, throwing them in the washing machine like that, but they came out really, really well. The other advantage with doing this over and above using a steam cleaner or high steam cleaner is the fact that they smell nice in the car. They don't smell musty, they're nice and lemony, and they're just a bit more thorough. A lot of the sand and grit that was in there's managed to work its way loose, so I think we'll stick them on now. Right, we've got to fix these on. I've got the seat cover inside out again. It looks pretty manky, that foam, but again, this is just a demonstration. We've got to use trimmer's pliers, or C-clip pliers if you prefer. And they use a C-clip like the ones we took off. These aren't them, but they do the same thing. These are just netting clips from Bunnings. I think they're about, for fences and stuff like that, they're about $8 for about 4 million. So we just throw a few out and they'll fit inside the trimmer's clips or trimmer's pliers like this, and just encircle exactly as a C-clip would. About the only difference in between these and C-clips, the C-clips are actually sharp at the edge, so they can penetrate the listings a bit better, but at the end of the day, these will work fine. Now, we don't want this to wrinkle, so we're going to put it back exactly as we found it by pushing down on the listing and encircling the wire underneath, down in there. That's still recording. Yep. So we start with the front one, turn it round, and we want the spacing to be correct. And this is typical of the Japanese cars. They actually have a little opening in the foam so you can see exactly where it was you took it out. So I'm going to go around and secure these, and then we'll go to the next part. And it's basically the reverse of how we pulled it apart. We're going to stretch those over. Now you've got to be careful when you do this that they don't gather. Go right to the edge, roll it over. And as you better do the back as well, as you tighten everything up, and it's a good day to do it today because it's 40 degrees, and so the vinyl, this is particularly unpliable stuff, but today's weather means I can stretch it. Now that doesn't look good. See that gathering there? We need to really get that all out, and I think once we stretch that down we might be on the home straight, but we'll turn it over and have a look. We have to turn this over and flick it inside out. Just be very careful, as I said before, you don't cut yourself. The steel edge there hasn't got a safety fold and it's really sharp. You feel it sort of go into the channel like that, and that's when you know it's correct. We've got to put a listing wire in and pull that right up to there, and then they clip up over here. Just go around and untuck these corner bits first, just to make sure it's all good. So you can sort of push it down to give us a bit more room on the other side and to bring that up. And with vinyl sometimes you need to use a hairdryer to get it where you want it. And there's the cushion done. Just use a little lint brush, and if you think about what it looked like, it's certainly not too bad now, is it? So putting the runners on and so forth, that's just the reverse of disassembly. We've got to clean that one up a bit, and we'll have a look at the squab now. Now the setup of the squab's a little bit different. Don't forget on the headrest there's a lock, an adjuster lock, which goes in against those steps. It's only on one side, not on both. And so we're going to use this one to locate through the seat on top here. Now, I've got to find the hole. Where's the hole? Here it is. Just like that. Now a good trimming trick is to put Glad wrap over the top of the seat, and that lets the material slide down over the squab nice and easily. I'm going to try and do it without it and just sort of unroll it down, but I can only unroll it a little way because I've got to do that listing in the front. I've got to put that wire in, which is across here. So I'm just going to unroll that down a bit more. You can see that horrible scar it's got, which is where I did my hand sewing. Again, don't be too critical of that, it's just a demonstration. But I just thought I'd do this because I sort of enjoy this, so get a bit of a kick out of it. And then we can sort of secure that down. I mean, at the end of the day, if this ends up looking rubbish, it doesn't really worry me that much. I'm a bit nonchalant about it, but there are a dozen ways to skin a cat. And if you think about the cost of hiring a steam cleaner to do it, it's probably $40 a day. Plus they want you to buy detergent and defoaming solution and all this sort of other crap. And your car's going to smell musty for a good few days afterwards. This has cost 2 scoops of washing powder. That's it. My goodness, I love tea. Now, obviously chucking seat covers in the washing machine carries a certain amount of risk in that if there's any damage to the vinyl and whatnot, it's sort of on you. I've done it to a lot of cars now and had a lot of success with it. You can hand wash. Now, cars that have sort of velour or cloth trim around the side, they're much safer to do that too. Don't forget, vinyl does get brittle with age, but these ones are still very good. Well, there you go. Seat's all done. It's not perfect, but at the end of the day, it's a heck of a lot better than it was. There's a little repair we did with needle and thread. That's not too bad. Well, hope you've enjoyed it. See you later.